Game Club, episode 18?
Welcome to Game Club episode 18, and today we are very happy to be playing Double Dragon 4. Yes, that's right, 4. There's a fourth one. It came out yesterday. And it looks more like the second one. Not even the third, frankly.
It looks pretty OG.
Yeah, it does. And when I was looking forward to it releasing, I thought, man, what a great idea. Let's just kind of Mega Man 9 and 10 this, go back to the original design and use the original look, and let's make a fresh game. It's going to be so much fun. But you know what? It does not work out like Mega Man 9 and 10. Oh.
Waited so long.
I mean, honestly, let's put this out there. I mean, it's like they tore somebody's ROM open and just reused assets, right? Like, everything is... There's some new stuff. I got to give it some credit. There's some new stuff. The stage you're seeing right now looks like it's a lot of fresh stuff. But when you get into the more levels or missions, they call them 5, 6 in there, I started recognizing all the stuff from Double Dragon 2. What do you think, Chris?
It feels like they could have released this on Nintendo.
Yeah. And in some ways, that's cool, right?
Right.
There is something neat about sort of sticking to the limitations of years past, of consoles past. I'm a little bit upset that it seems to me that this is sequeling Double Dragon 2, not Double Dragon 3, because there's things in Double Dragon 3 that advance upon this model that aren't even in this game. For example, in Double Dragon 3, there's up to 4 characters you could play as, and the other characters had different movesets and were way cooler. And so this isn't even sequeling the last 8-bit Double Dragon. This is kind of going back deeper than that. Did you ever play Double Dragon 3?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So that was cool. You start off as the same 2 guys, but as you played through the game, there's certain bosses that when you beat them, they would join you. And they would be lives. So instead of having continues, if you died, you would become one of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they were pretty neat. They were really neat characters. Way better than the basic 2.
I also felt like this brought back a lot of the frustrations of the days of throwing my quarters at the screen.
Oh my gosh, yes. The platforming is so bad in this game. It's not charming, let's go back to the platforming of yesteryear. This is just... It was bad platforming then that we put up with, and it's terrible platforming now. I hated jumping around the screen during the platforming times. And also, there's just some kind of this game it feels a little rushed, because there's times it's this isn't you being retro. This is you just not doing a good job at this moment. I remember at the end of a stage, or not stage, but in a particular screen, there was a... you saw this, Chris. There was a ladder I had to go down. And so I went to the ladder and I started to walk down it, but then the screen didn't shift, and instead a guy came out from the side that I had to fight, but I was half down a ladder, and so he just started beating on my head. It was just... He should have come out before I got to the ladder. And it wasn't oh, that's a sneaky trick or anything like that. It was just bad timing. They just did a bad job of programming that part. So... on the one hand, I mean, if you want a new Double Dragon experience, you're definitely getting it. Or if you want to feel what it was really like, not to play indie 8-bit games, but to play 8-bit games of the 80s, this is really what it was like.
Yeah, it felt so original.
Yeah, this is...
Which is good and bad.
Yeah. They've added some things. There's some new moves. I noticed the uppercut. I don't recall that being in the original series, and I played a lot of Double Dragon, so I think I would recognize it. They have the kind of a jumping roundhouse, and I don't mean the spinning kick. That was in Double Dragon.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's sort of a jumping roundhouse,
a quicker one.
Yeah, it was really good when you're getting up. You could start with that to get the guys off you. Also, there's a kind of a spinning attack where the character kind of spins a bit and goes up at an angle. And I don't remember that from the original series. Not a spinning kick, but just kind of a spinning shoulder attack.
Like a spinning headbutt.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. The enemies, all the old enemies are back, which means they just rehashed and reused their sprites. There's some visual tweaks to some of the old enemies, and some of the old enemies have new moves. I can't remember the name of the guy, but the bald guy who shows up. Adobo. He often shows up as a boss. As I was playing, and I doubt our video will get there, as I was playing, a green version of him came out, and I think he was wearing purple pants, so I think it was sort of a play on the Hulk. And he had some new moves even. So it's pretty cool. So they do some tweaks here. They play with it. It's not as lazy as it could have been, but it's also not as quality as it could have been either. Do you agree with that, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Yeah.
assessment.
There's some new enemies. There's enemies that come later in the game that I didn't recognize. There's a guy that looked like Mr. Karate from the King of Fighters and the Art of Fighting games. He looked and I don't remember anybody looking like that in the original series. There's also some guys with batons that I didn't recognize that come out. Some characters who throw. They aren't boomerangs, but they have a boomerang effect. They go, he throws it and it comes back to him. And I don't remember that in any of the original Double Dragon games. Other things that come from the original, though, is awful controls. Awful in the sense that they're just slow. Awful in the sense that you feel like things happen like a slight, like, partial second after you actually press the button. And often you get screwed from that delay, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I pressed that punch button before he punched me, but his punch got to me first. Somebody's getting text messages.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, Chris. Come on. We're in class. So, yeah. This is one of those things where you sort of, you need to watch what you wish for, I think.
So, what's your verdict?
Well, so the way we do these, right, is we say,
Full price.
yeah, don't buy it, or buy it on sale, or buy it full price, or go the extra mile, right? Maybe buy soundtrack, or give the developer more money, or whatever extra mile possibilities are out there. And we bought this for what, $6.99?
$6.99.
And was that the permanent price, or was that a special price?
I did not notice.
Probably the permanent price, right?
Yeah, it said $10 yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Okay.
Or Sunday when we looked at it.
Yeah, before it was actually released.
Yeah, and then when it came out, it was at $6.99.
Maybe they realized that they couldn't really charge $9.99 for this. I'm thinking, I mean, $6.99 is not a lot of money for anything, but frankly, I've played better games for $6.99. So I'm gonna go with sale on this one, and only for those people that want to experience what 8-bit was like in the 80s. Because honestly, as in the world of new 8-bit indie games that are coming out now, this does not hold up.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both said, man, I'd rather be playing Mother Russia Bleeds, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of is somewhere in the 16-bit graphical zone. It's doing the same thing, but it's doing it well. It's fluid. It's got better moves. It's got originality.
Sense of humor.
It's got a sense of humor. It's just more visually interesting. So, I mean, if you feel like an old school 8-bit style beat 'em up, you might as well go with the best version of it, and that'd be more like Mother Russia Bleeds. Also, a game I remembered was playing Scott Pilgrim. Right, Scott Pilgrim, the game, came out right around the movie, and it's basically a Double Dragon style scrolling beat 'em up, but with some RPG mechanics for upgrading your character, and that is far superior to this, I would say. So, if you don't care about nostalgia in any way, and if you don't care about knowing what it was like to play games back in the day, or going back to that feeling if you already have played them, then I would say avoid this altogether. But if you want some of that nostalgia, or you want some of that, what did 8-bit really feel like, then I'd purchase this on sale. That's my verdict. What about you, Chris?
I'm in complete agreement with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I got to reiterate that I'm disappointed that it doesn't even go back to the advancements that were in Double Dragon 3. That it seems they kind of altogether forget there's a Double Dragon 3 in this. They do have some of the features we should mention before we're done with the game, just to be fair to it, is there's now kind of a... Obviously, there was always co-op, and that's still true, even though our video's not showing it. They also have some new modes for 2 players.
2-player duel.
They have duel. Now, there were moments in the original Double Dragon games where you had to fight the other player, but that was more of a surprise. It wasn't actually a mode that I recall. And they have a tower mode where you kind of go up. If you ever played a tower mode in a fighting game, you go up one level and you fight whatever challenge is there, and then you go up the next level and there's a new challenge and a new challenge, and sometimes they're infinite and sometimes they're not. We didn't play the tower mode of this game. It kind of just seems like an attached thing. It didn't seem like part of the main game. We were interested in the main game mostly. So there you have it. I wish I could tell you that this was awesome and it brought back all the warm feelings of my childhood and that everybody should play this. But frankly, you should just play it if you feel like having an education, not having fun. That's the reality. This is an education about old games. It's not really it's not a fun representation of old games. And I think that's all we got to say. So
Next week?
Yeah, next week. That's right. The game for next week, if you'd like to play along with us, is we're going to play Beholder, which, Chris, can you describe this quickly?
I do not have the thing up in front of me anymore.
Oh, I just, but the general style, wasn't it well, who cares? It's Beholder. So you'll find it on Steam. It's for PC. I remember reading it's also for Mac. It's not on consoles. Sorry about that. But, Steam is awesome, so that's okay, too. Have a great day.